How y'all doing? If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. We got board games today. Uh, Axis and Allies 1941. This is a game that I sell in the box. It goes for really good money, although I'm concerned that it's very light. So hopefully it's all there. If not, we're going to be parting it out. And then the ones we always part out, we got Monopoly, Game of Life, $8 on the board. Let's start with Life. Some of the new camera setup. I actually found a tripod in a box of junk I was doing, and I ended up keeping it because I had this camera taped to the wall. It was kind of stupid. So I'm going to try this out. Gets a better detail. The camera's like too far away most of the time, but anyways. So this is an older Game of Life. So this is like the 80s version. You can tell by what people wear on the front. Dads don't just wear sweaters over button-up shirts anymore. Moms don't wear scarves and earrings to the dinner table. Yeah, it's just not a thing. So this is like a late 80s, early 90s. Probably late 80s. Let me see. Oh, 91. Never mind. So this, I forget if this one has this, the old style pegs. New style pegs. So I sell a lot of the cars with pegs. I have not had the old school ones in quite a long time. No, this is the short pegs, as they would be called. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this spinner out. I don't know how many of these I have at this point. In fact, we might talk about pricing and when we lower pricing on stuff. This one's in here. What did they do? And obviously, we're not selling them. It's you didn't know. As a whole game, you never do. Oh, they legitimately glued it down. Why would you do that? That was not original. Nobody glued these to the board. What are you doing? So anyways, we got a spinner, and I got a ton of these right now, so I'm thinking we may be doing something else with those, maybe lowering price on that. If I, my rule is if I get 5 of something, I reduce my price. Now the money, I just recently sold out of. So we're going to be keeping the money. Traditionally, I have tossed this, but I sold with volume pricing. I ended up selling everything I had. So we're going to be reactivating that listing because apparently it's going to move. But you make that choice, some stuff I just decide I don't want to list anymore. So I just stop. And then I run out and I wish I had not, but otherwise you end up with just tons and tons of stuff. The volume pricing thing might be a game changer. And the idea being that people that are looking to resell specific things or put specific things together, if they can get a really, really good deal on bundles, may be inclined to do so. We have cars. We have pegs. We have some of these still on this. I've talked about this before. If you have to take these off, you put them in a plastic bag. You pull that out, or else they will go absolutely everywhere. It's like buckshot. So the other bits of this game have not sold recently. So the cards, The tiles, those haven't moved for me, so I'm going to continue to ignore those. I might actually have a lot of people in this. This seems very full. Which the extras I put away in case I'm short. So we have 6 cars. My listings are traditionally 47 pegs. So I'm sure I have that. May have more. Alright, get this all sorted out. So, relisting the money, it was already at 7, which is my lowest. Adding another set of cars to the car bag, and then we're gonna look at this. If I think these are 8, we're lowering them to 7 if I have a lot of them. But look that up right now. So it's just good to keep an eye on your inventory every once in a while. So I'll put in spinner. So I have 5 at volume pricing. This is going to be my 6th at $8. So I am changing that to 7. And that'll get rid of some of mine. If I sell them all, I might relist it at 8. But for now, we got 2, we got 4, got 7 on the board. Let's bust open the Monopoly. Monopoly is the 65th anniversary edition. I don't think this is any different. If it is, it probably has the money bag, which is fine. Oh, it has the money bag, okay. They kind of bust that out every once in a while, just as a gimmick. 11 tokens in this one. That's good. So I can make a money bag or a classic 10 count, whatever I want to make. I'll look at what I'm selling at the moment, what I got more of. Go from there. Nice, somebody put all the money. This is basically unplayed. Money is bagged up in exactly the way I would have bagged it. Good to go. That's a set of money. We have our hotels, and our houses, and our tokens. So we'll see if they're all there. It's at 11, so it should be the classic 10 plus the money bag. If we got them all. The only one I definitely need is the ship and the gun. I have tons of the rest. We got the gun. I got the money bag. We got the iron, the stew. There's the ship. There's 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. We got some hotels and houses to add to my small version of the bag, so I don't have to keep busting out a gallon of these at a time. When this is full, I'm going to make a new listing, and I'm going to start increasing the quantity again, because that slowed down on sales. So what we got is a money, and we got a token. Whichever one I'm going to make, I'll look it up real quick. So I can make a classic 10 count, or I can make the 10 count with the money bag that just excludes the gun. At which point I could possibly make a 10 count anyways. Yep, I can. That's easy. We're going to make a money bag and a 10 count. So we'll bump that to 13. And now let's check out Axis and Allies 1941. This is kind of funny. I'm going to put away the Monopoly pieces. I thought I'd sold all of these, because I bought 2 of them. And there's the other one that I thought I sold. I think somebody bought it and then canceled it, so like in my brain it was gone, and at some point I moved it to a lower shelf. So I actually still have one of these. I did sell Axis and Allies Japan. I sold that for 40 bucks. So I'm just looking up now how long I've had the other one and how many views and the price, just to get an idea of what we're gonna do with it. So I can just look it up on here. So let's punch in Axis. What do we got? We got Axis and Allies Europe 1940. I got that for $40. I guess it won't show me the back end stuff. So on my phone, I'll look it up and see. I've got 3 views and 2 watchers, and it's been on sale for over a year. So what I'm going to do immediately is I'm going to lower that by $5. I'm going to get that down to 35. It is also, like I said, the weight of this one is disproportionate. This is a heavy game. I have the other one for sale listed for 6 pounds 12 ounces. I always add a pound for box, so that means that game is 5 pounds 12 ounces. This one is 2 pounds 12 ounces, and the box feels wrong. I've been doing this a while. They make board games. The box is generally gonna either be the board, and it's gonna be really short. There's a lot of give in here. This is missing some stuff, I think. So we're gonna be parting this out more than likely. I paid $4 for it. If you would sell a board game for 40 bucks, then the parts are gonna be worth something. So I'm going to open it like I'm not selling it in the box. I just don't see how this is possibly all here. This game has, in general, like 600 pieces. What do we got? We've got the rule book, which is extremely thick, and I will never play this game more than likely for that reason. We've got a board. This is a big board game. So this is all of the involved world, I guess, for World War II. So it doesn't have a theme like the other ones, Europe or Japan. It's just the whole last thing. All right. We have a hole. We have these. And we've got some. Yeah, this doesn't seem like nearly enough stuff. We're gonna have to look in the book and see what it's supposed to come with, and then we're gonna figure out what we're doing with this, if anything. I was hoping for at least a complete army, but we'll have to look this up. So the reason there's so little stuff, I don't know if this came out later. Rather than having 700 pieces, it has 160. And then it has tokens that I guess are unit stackers. So rather than have literally like 15 of these guys, you just put like a 15 on them or something. So that still means I have to count 160 tokens, but that's a lot better than 700. So I'm going to dive into that and see what we end up with. Looks good. Is it all here? So, install odds. It's actually completely all there. I counted every token. Everything's good. So we have a complete 1941 Axis and Allies. So I punched in Axis and Allies just to look at the games, see how many are out there, and then we'll narrow it down to this edition. And I find out why my other one hasn't sold yet. This dude has that game in box, $27, and he has sold 79 of them. So this guy must have bought a pallet of that game. Now, interestingly, it will not tell you how many he has. But if I punch in a random number, 50, it tells me to put in a lower number. So if I put in like 25, it's got to be a lower number than that. But if I put in 22, 21, oh, 21's okay. Where did this guy get 100 of these? So obviously mine will never sell until this guy has sold all 100 of his copies of this game. So all I can do is lower the price to be below this. At this point, I've had it for a year. I don't know how long it's going to take him to sell these. This wasn't here when I listed it, obviously, because nobody would be selling them. So I gotta wait for this dude with a really bad rating to finally sell all his goddamn games. So that's like a retail arbitrage thing, or like some kind of warehouse liquidation where he must have gone and just bought a whole fuckload of these, and you know, good on him. Whatever, that's his hustle. Mine is possibly not as lucrative, but anyways, that answers that question of why that game wasn't even being looked at. So we have 6,700 Axis and Allies. We're going to put in 1941 to narrow it down. 1,300 on that. So looking at, it's not quite as expensive. Okay. So 20 in shipping, 15 in shipping, 99% complete. Mine's 100% complete. So we're probably around 20 in shipping, which is okay. I paid $4 for it. 409 sold, so that's a good sell-through. That's not the right one. Control of Fate. This is showing me the wrong year for whatever reason. I don't know. There we go. That's 42. We got parts. We got spring of 41. They made a lot of these, apparently. What on earth is this going to sell for? Somebody's got to be buying this. All right, 41. Brand new, $40. Another brand new one. Another brand new one. So I can't narrow this down anymore, though. Is this Avalon Hill? I thought it was Wizards of the Coast. No, it's both. There really is no way to narrow this down. I can remove spring. That got it down to 100. Now we got pieces. That's where we were before. All right, so we got brand new ones. We got used ones. We're gonna have to go back and see what's for sale on this, minus spring. All right, so 686 for sale. And again, this dude is flipping game. Different dude entirely, but 26 of these sold. This must have been like a post-COVID thing. Maybe these these sold really well, or pre-COVID rather, and people stopped getting together, and somebody got stuck holding the bag on these. But you know, pre-owned 20, pre-owned 15. I'm just gonna do 20 because eventually these other ones are gonna move out of the way. I don't mind sitting on it. I just sold Dixit, which I just did a few videos ago, which I always buy that and always sell it within a week. So I'm going to do 20 in shipping, and it'll go eventually. I'm not super sweating it. And that's not a bad day for board games, especially. Had a good luck with the other two, and this is always worth picking up. And we know there's a parts market. I haven't had to look before, but obviously those were selling. The whatever planes and whatnot were going. So if you like resale content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time.